I don't know what she was. She was something. It was elementary school, so she taught everything. Evil Nasu, no. Those days are behind me. Sometimes you grow up, chat.
Did you guys see that?
What?
This motherfucker has been attacking me since I've washed him.
You lost the 1v1 to your cat the other night, huh?
I didn't lose the 1v1.
You lost
I
the
freaking
1v1.
dominated, but he is pissed.
It took you 2
He's
hours
petty.
to wash the cat. You
Petty.
lost. You fucking lost. It took you
He
2
got
hours.
washed. He got washed.
She said it took
So
her
that's all that
2
matters.
hours to give the cat a tiny cat. A tiny ass cat.
He is not tiny.
That is not a grown ass man. That is a fucking baby
He
cat.
is grown.
You've got that cat like a year ago, or not even a year ago. That is a tiny baby cat, a kitten.
They grow fast. They're big.
That is a kitten. She lost to a fucking kitten.
For real. Mythic is saying the truth. They will do anything to not touch water. You guys don't see it now. I had it yesterday. I had scratches all over my freaking arms.
Oh no, that's bad.
A motherfucker almost tried to bite. He tried so hard. That he ended up shitting himself from like pushing, like trying to overpower me. I got like a little shit particles on the floor. Man,
damn,
bro. I just need to wash you, man.
Don't they eventually get used to it though?
I'm not.
I guess.
I'm dead serious.
Never figured I'd have something in common with a talking raccoon.
What's your cat's name? Solar. His name's Chester. Who's that? A blade?
Name's Chester, but you call the cat cat.
Right now?
3, 2.
She mostly calls him cat though.
Oh, it is a blade.
Emma can die right
there. Almost won.
You got blade and white though.
Damn, it is
dead.
dead.
Their blade's dead.
Oh, they're down too.
Oh, I can't. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know how I didn't die. Their Gambit's dead too.
Are you sure they Gambit? Oh yeah, they're doing triple stuff.
Triple support. I mean, okay.
There's 2 coming to me. 2 coming to me. I need help.
Emma's dead.
2 down. 2 down. 2 down. Repeat. 2 down.
Repeat.
Like you say, repeat right there. Like a real,
we in the military? Okay. I like that. I didn't know we was in the military. So repeat. It was a general.
They're coming in from the side.
Gambit's one. I repeat. Gambit's one. Gambit's dead. Gambit's dead.
Gambit down.
Get this blade. This blade is overextending. Where'd he go? Blade down. Blade down. Does this give you PTSD to? Didn't you say you used to be an ROTC or something?
Yeah.
Does this give you PTSD? Oh shit! I got my shit kicked in.
Emma down. Ult popped. Nice. Gambit down. 2 down.
His mic is.
It's bad. Oh my god.
Whatever, at least we're winning.
Bro, can we get some dogs, bro?
I got you. Fucking start deep throwing my damn mic. Like, what the fuck does this guy want from me?
Okay, down.
Like, what the hell, bro?
White Fox down. Cloak down.
I repeat.
I do not like this position. These guys are funny. Yeah, if you want to know something about
repeat, no tank.
Oh.
Dino dick is out.
Dino what? You said, wait, what?
Wait a damn moment.
Wait.
You
said Dino what? Did you see that? What's up, Zazzy?
Blade on rocket.
Where you all? Oh. Sheesh. You messaged earlier? Oh, sorry, I missed it. How you been, Zazzy? You miss Boger? I miss Boger as well.
Oh,
He's having the time
a
of
real
his
touch
life.
for an iron stomach chat. You need to eat a green mango
Green mango?
before you do anything else.
Am I allergic to mangoes? I forgot. Nah, I don't think I am.
Yeah.
I mean, oh shit.
I forgot if I'm allergic to that.
Go, walk.
It's my Bulgarian. I do too.
I was looking for one of these. Teleporter ready.
Don't worry, he'll be back soon. Wait, today's Monday. He's actually coming back like probably like now.
Well, we're probably gonna have a Sandy and Gambit ult. We don't have any right now.
No Gambit's dead. No Gambit ult today.
The current score is
Or yeah, something like that.
2-0.
You better not.
Time to switch things up, including which side
what?
you're on.
I was talking to Chester.
You'll need a top-notch team
Let 'em
to
cook.
win this one.
Someone's got to guard the galaxy. Might as well be me.
Mangoes are
Mangoes
overrated.
are overrated.
Nah.
No, they're not.
Eh,
No, they're not. How dare you say that?
not
That's my
overrated.
favorite fruit.
I think bananas overrated, but I'm allergic and also
Bananas.
I hate bananas and I'm allergic, so I get the pass.
I don't think they're overrated. There's a lot of banana flavors, but I don't think they're overrated at all.
Fuck
Do
bananas.
whatever it takes to
If
keep 'em
anything, I
safe.
feel like people forget bananas exist.
I'm allergic to every fruit now. I'm not allergic to mangoes or strawberries. Pears. Just the
Oh,
most
that's
common ones.
nice. At least those are the good fruits. Good tasting fruits.
Hey, Rocket. Quill.
I'm allergic to apples, but I still eat it.
Let's get out of here. But
I had apple
we're,
juice the other day.
We're supposed to save the world.
I like kiwis.
We'll save the world.
Watermelon is not mid. Stop it.
The battle starts in 5,
You must be choosing the
4,
wrong
3,
watermelon.
2, 1.
You have to choose the right one. I spent so long choosing a watermelon in Sam's.
You just said like the grocery store, just like trying to. Oh nah. Just sitting there trying to pick the freshest one.
Dude, I picked a watermelon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this place has like watermelon stuff. They're not all in the same place. They're all like separated.
Damn. Those guys not doing animation cancel. I was playing Cap yesterday, chat.
Look you down, Gambit down.
Oh my.
Hands down. Last on me. Repeat.
Dude, he's actually playing like a Punisher.
What the fuck?
Down.
What is this guy?
I forgot what I was even gonna say.
This
Just
guy's
forget
actually
it.
playing like a Punisher. That's
What-
funny.
I don't think I heard you. You gotta say that louder. Oh my god, this guy. Gotta say a little louder for me. Has this Gambit gotten to ult once? I feel like he keeps dying before he ults.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're triple healers, so he's not gonna get ult.
There's a Star-Lord over here. I caught
killed
him.
myself.
Fell.
I killed myself.
You did what?
He fell up.
Don't follow report. There's gonna be a lot of paperwork.
He said that's gonna be a lot of paperwork. This guy.
Behind you, Star-Lord. Thank you.
We're good.
Final score.
We're going home.
0.
Good job, soldiers.
Fuck those
I died on the battlefield. I didn't make it. I don't
I'm
go home.
sorry.
Another
I'm sorry.
Oh God.
He said I died on the battlefield. What's the easiest tank to learn? Bama Frost. One of the easy ones. was a
I
funny match.
won. I was. And they ended up going quad heals at the end.
What? Oh my god.
Wow, we could have played Gambit. Oh well. Salute him the next time you see him. Yeah.
Ag